The man pulled out 2 coins and bought an ice-cold Coke, but before he could take a refreshing sip, he turned to find his student drinking from a water fountain. A wave of sympathy washed over him. These kids came from poor families, waking up at 4:30 a.m. every day to help their parents pick crops. Only when the school bell was about to ring would they hastily remove their sweat-soaked work hats and sprint 10+ kilometers to school through the dust and wind. It was precisely because of this that the man resolved to help these kids become California's best cross-country champions. A few days earlier, White had been a hot-tempered football coach. When a student merely sneezed while the teacher was talking, the coach had thrown a shoe at the player's head. This incident got him fired, and no big city school would hire him. In desperation, he took his wife and 2 daughters to economically depressed McFarland High School in California, seeking work. When the principal reviewed his resume, he was shocked. The file documented numerous negative incidents, including complaints about violent corporal punishment and records of dismissal from multiple colleges. But considering the school's teacher shortage, the principal decided to give him a chance to explain himself, ultimately offering him a position as assistant football coach. However, on his first day back in the classroom, before Coach White could even take attendance, 3 students' mothers urgently called them home to work the fields. One student even openly mocked White's name, saying it sounded like it belonged in a farmer's market. Despite this, Coach White kept his promise to the principal and didn't let his temper take over the classroom. He simply asked all students to run 1 lap around the field before ending class. But a student named Johnny, who fancied himself a football player, refused to run laps. In White's view, Johnny's slight build didn't seem suited for the football field. Sure enough, just as the coach predicted, during the football game, the previously arrogant Johnny was immediately knocked flying by the opposing team's bruiser. In the second play, he was mercilessly slammed to the ground again. The 2 consecutive hits left Johnny somewhat dazed, unable to even judge simple numbers correctly. Under these circumstances, the head coach actually demanded the injured Johnny return to the field. Concerned for the student's safety, White decisively prevented Johnny from playing. But this action created conflict with the head coach. They ultimately lost 0-63. This game's outcome made White realize that the students here were generally smaller, lacking the physical build for football. Just as he began thinking about adjusting his teaching methods, the head coach privately met with the principal, blaming the loss entirely on White and strongly demanding the principal fire him. Fortunately, the wise principal didn't accept his suggestion, instead kicking out the defeatist head coach. Considering the school's teacher shortage, the principal merely removed White from his assistant football coach position. But it was precisely this that changed the trajectory of White's life. The English teacher, seeing White had free time, suggested he organize parent meetings for the school's immigrant families or establish charitable activities like food assistance centers. These children had been neglected victims from birth, born in the fields. Their future seemed destined to return to fieldwork. After graduation, they might even end up in the prison across from the school. In this barren land, dreams were like dormant seeds. Their fate shouldn't just be a cycle of sorrow, but should bloom brilliantly under the nurturing of love and education. After school, as White was driving his daughter home, he noticed a student tirelessly running through the fields. He immediately found the principal and proposed forming a cross-country team, planning to participate in California's upcoming first national championship. But the principal believed cross-country was the domain of private prep schools. Moreover, White wasn't a professional cross-country coach and lacked track coaching experience. Facing the principal's doubts, White decided to personally test the student's athletic abilities. He drove alongside student Thomas's pace and discovered that without proper running shoes,